So the other day, someone asked me, hey, what do you go to school for? Like, what do you do? And I was like, well, I read policies. And whenever you tell someone you read policies, no one ever really believes you, because no one ever reads the policy. But I'm going to show you exactly what it is that happens when you play on... Actually, this is why you should never play online video games again, because everything is made for kids. Before we do this whole reading, I'm going to tell you up front that there's nothing you can do on Xbox Live. You can't say anything. All you can do is play a game quietly. And it's all right there in the contract if you accept it. Fortunately, all my fellow gamers, I decided to go to school so I can read those things and get paid for it. So that, hey, I'm just going to do it for free. Alright. Starting from the bottom, because it's the best way to read a contract. That's blah blah blah. That's Adobe products used on your computer. Funny, Xbox Live. Terms of use continue to apply in their entirety and govern your conduct while accessing EA Online through Xbox Live. To the extent that Xbox Live terms of use conflict with the EA terms of service, the Xbox Live terms of service control. Meaning that one trumps the other. EA is solely responsible for the operation of content of EA Online. Microsoft may collect and use information about you and your use of Xbox Live while accessing EA Online through Xbox Live. Microsoft's use and collection of such information is governed by the Xbox Live privacy statement, which, by the way, they tell you is available by calling 1-800-4MY-XBOX. By accessing that EA Online through Xbox Live, you agree that Microsoft shall not be liable for any damages of any kind that you may suffer while accessing EA Online through the Xbox Live service, and you hereby waive any and all causes of action and claims that you might be able to assert against Microsoft arising out such damages or your use of EA Online. Dude, in short breath, check it out. If you play a game on EA, say NCAA 2010, randomly just happens to be this game, and you play that game online, and you have an online match, and somehow you catch a virus, well, since you were playing with EA, Xbox Live has no claim of service, which means if your Xbox gets fucked up, you can't send that shit in. Thank you, Xbox Live, for letting me know in all those freaking words. If you reside in a member state of the European Union, dude, check it out. If you don't live in the US, you should probably read that. I do, so I'm not reading that shit for you. Other legal terms. Where are my terms? Read as fast as I do. We're going up. Upon request by EA, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless EA and its affiliates, subsidiaries, employees, contractors, officers, directors, vendors, content providers from all liabilities, claims, and expenses, including attorney's fees that arise from a breach of these terms of service for which you are responsible or in connection with your transmission of any content on EA Online. EA reserves the right at its own expense to assume the exclusive defense and control of any matter otherwise subject to indemnification by you. In that event, you shall have no further obligation to provide indemnification to EA in that matter. This section shall survive termination of this agreement. Check it out, dude. If you fucking cuss out a little kid online and his fucking mom goes to the cops and says you threatened her kid, then what's going to happen is EA Sports is going to be like, no, not our fault. You, bad guy. Just so happens that you were wrong and you were innocent. EA is like, either way. So either way it goes, whatever you do, they're not responsible for it. You are on yourself responsible for that shit. This right here is the funniest section. Limitations on warranty and liability. To the maximum extent permitted by applicable law, you expressly agree that the use of EA Online software, and the internet is at your sole risk. Meaning, dude, we don't have virus protection. If someone crashes his Xbox Live and You are like 1 touchdown, 1 yard away, the ball's going across the goal line, and you're about to get that record that you've been trying to get for years. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Nothing we can do about that. We're not going to give you the achievement. That's another thing that's not covered in there. You don't get it. There's nothing that says, hey, we'll give you achievement. There is, however, a thing that says you can buy, you can spend 800 Microsoft points for a cheat on the game. So you can get an achievement. That's cool, though. If you haven't figured it out by now, Xbox Live in this situation is EA Sports or EA Online's third party, and at the same time, EA Online is Xbox Live's third party, because everything that you do from one or the other, shall you know it or not, every bit of your information is transferred. By selecting a play button to start a beta game, you agree playing beta games is at your own risk and that you know that games may include known or unknown bugs. So if you're lucky enough to be a game tester and you play the betas, or you just happen to get the beta code, just know that the game is screwed up, okay? Don't go complaining to everyone else that it's not. No one else cares, because you're the only one playing it. Every game you play, you must adhere to a policy. From time to time, EA Sports, or EA Arts may provide you with updates and modifications to software. Patches, guys, patches. You understand that in order to continue using the software and the service, you must accept and install all patches that you receive from Electronic Arts. To check it out in simple terms, they reserve the right to change the policy at any point in time, and the only way for you to continue playing the game online is to accept the policy. However, should you not to, well, in no uncertain terms, they're going to tell you that you won't be able to play online. Or you won't be able to receive those extra add-ins. They hold maps and extra weapons and extra uniforms and everything else that comes out. They hold all of those things hostage unless you agree to the new policy. When you've already paid the $60 to play the game. I mean, it's kind of funny to me. We're not even a quarter way up the screen yet. A quarter of the way up the screen yet. And if it hasn't become apparent to you that when you spend $60 on the game, all you're doing is buying the right for someone else to tell you what the fuck you can do. And if you think I'm crazy, I really want you to read this entire policy. User's computer information. Check it out. When you play EA on your computer, you log in on there and you change your little stuff around. Information. So that little, like when you go through and say you use your other email address, your secret email address, that's your gamer email address. Or say you got a gamer email address, right? Say you got both, because I know some of you out there have it. I'm a computer geek, I know this shit. When you go on your gamer's email address that you set up at blah blah blah.com, even if you use an alias, a pseudonym, it still connects your IP address. You allow them to collect that information. We will not collect any personal information about you, however, without your knowledge and consent, as stated in our privacy policy. If you read it real fast, you're like, what the fuck? Scroll up. That's why you read everything backwards. You can't transmit. Well, I guess we'll cover that later. Read that? It's another way. It's just more and more. They always want to tell you, it's not our fault. It's not our fault. Check it out. It's not our fault. Some games on EA require that you download from EA or its licensors onto your computer EA Online software. They grant you a non-exclusive limited license to use EA Online software to play games on their service. Can you imagine that? Dude, you get granted the opportunity. Thank you, because I already paid for it. Whatever happened to just putting everything in the game the first time? Like, what happened to that? Is everything have to be a hostage now? Hey, you've got this game, man, and we have all these extra maps that we made when we made the game. But what we're going to do is we voted, and then we all sat around this table, and what happened is we decided that we'll hold these maps for 6 months, and then we'll drop